So, Fat Man.
Sleazy?
Wait, what the fuck?
Gimmick, as you're stealing my gimmick.
What the fuck kind of shirt is that?
Dude, I'm an award winner. I'm a Smarky award winner.
You are barely a Hall of Famer.
Excuse you?
Yeah, because you were the only person who voted, and you voted for yourself. Congratulations.
Hey. It still counts. Coco Beware's a Hall of Famer. I'm a Hall of Famer.
Coco Beware and Donald fucking Trump.
Oh, you fucking dick.
So
I guess we're kicking it old school. You know, everyone was saying, what shows are we covering? What shows are we covering? And then when I ask you right after the Royal Rumble, what time we taping? You go 8. I go, sounds good. I was the only one to reply.
Hey, you know what happened is they heard how many shows we were going to cover tonight, and they went, nah, dude, not for me. Well, let's find out what we're actually covering on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode of Blue Smock Nancy. They're awesome. They let us use that wonderful song on Settling Differences. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. Fat Man, we've got a lot to cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's preface this right now by saying January was a decent month for wrestling in terms of quantity. We'll just put that like that.
A show that had 2 nights at the beginning.
Yep.
The second biggest WWE show of the year at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Impact in the middle.
It is the cream filling of the Oreo. If it were mint.
Hey, I like mint. Shut up.
Well, let's get ready.
Coconut.
Okay, there you go. Coconut. I'll go with coconut. So I know you want to start chronologically, so let's start with night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom. Night 1?
Night 1. Did you watch the pre-show?
No.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Wow. I didn't, only because I figured you wouldn't.
It was only one match. It was a 21-man New Japan Rambo to challenge for the provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy on night 2. So the last 4 people in it face each other on night 2.
Oh, okay.
So it's essentially their version of a Royal Rumble match, but it's every minute.
Okay.
But you can win by pinfall or submission also.
So fling them over, pinfall, submission. Done.
Right.
So it's basically a casino battle royal.
The match went 34 minutes and 40 seconds.
Jesus Christ. It was a pre-show match. How was it going that long?
Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 1 3/4. He's an overrating piece of shit.
It's a battle royal.
3 1/4?
3 1/4? Holy shit.
3/4 on the start. My bad. The wrestlers took their sweet ass time to get to the fucking ring.
Yeah, and it's fucking Tokyo Dome, so that's like 14 minutes of just entrances.
Bland battle royal action. Forearms. That's it.
Yo, dog, I heard you like forearms.
It's a New Japan show, so it's instead of having punches, they do forearms.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Just terrible.
It's terrible for New Japan.
Yep. Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, Bushi, and Yano were the last 4.
Okay, so we'll find out on night 2 whether or not that match was any good.
Same show. Technically, the number 1 contendership for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship
Starts off every year.
Takahashi versus El Phantasmo. Match went 17 minutes and 46 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 4 stars.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
Yep.
That was really, really great way to start off the fucking show. Just start off the 2 nights. Now, I watched them back to back. So, I didn't...
I watched one night, and then I watched one the next morning. And then I watched Hard to Kill.
Oh.
So,
I'm sorry for Hard to Kill's ratings right there.
yeah. But no, it was a great match. Lots of big moves and counters. Phantasmo really impressed me, even though I have seen him work before. Just a great, like I said, you had a great way to open up night 1.
Yeah. I doubt we're going to be... Yeah, but...
Because I'm going to butcher all these Japanese names. Except this one. But IWGP Tag Team Championship. I'm not going to do the racist, double JP, like you do. Tag Team Championships. The Dangerous Techers defend against Girls to Destiny. 19 minutes and 18 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 3.5.
The only reason why he gave it 3.5 was he's bagging on the Young Bucks and they think it's a shoot. Or not the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers. And Meltzer thinks it's a shoot.
Oh, Meltzer's a mark and a piece of shit.
Wow. And the sky is blue. The grass is green.
Hey,
I love Asians.
Right now. It is snowing like a motherfucker.
That is true, yes. The ground is white.
It was so funny, as we're going off tangents, they're calling for like all this snow. I wake up this morning and I got like no snow here.
You know,
I'm like, that's weird. And then, then I got a little bit of snow, then it stopped. I'm like, okay. So then I shoveled, go inside, and about 2 hours later, it just starts coming down. I was like, oh, there it is.
I just realized something. And for people who are watching us on YouTube and not listening to us, first of all, if you're listening to us on Spotify or wherever you're at, thank you for listening. If you desire to watch us as well, we are on YouTube at the username Sleazy and the Fat Man. But the funny part is our room colors, because of the lighting, look exactly the same.
Yes, I'm actually at a different location for the next couple months. So normally you see the yellow background with the banner. I'm actually in a way nicer place for the next couple months.
Cool.
So, but yeah, it does look like it. It's not though. It's actually gray.
Yeah, I know. I remember that it's a lot grayer than...
No, they actually just painted this before.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, was it cream before?
It was like a cream, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
This is now gray. Yep.
So...
Anyway.
Gorillas of Destiny.
I give it 3 3/4. I thought it was another great match, another back and forth match with a lot of action and a lot of counters.
I actually bumped it up higher. I thought it was 4 stars. So, yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a great match, and it was, once again, a great tag team match. People look past Gorillas of Destiny, and I don't know why. I really don't. They're like one of those teams that has had a lot of gold, but nobody really talks about them when they talk about, the greatest tag teams in the divisions of, New Japan, of Ring of Honor, Impact, WWE, so on. They're never in that conversation yet. They're very, very good.
Well, yeah. No, they are. Well, they just, broke 7 times now? Tag team champions?
Yeah, they're 7-time champs now.
Okay. Technically, it's for the IWGP United States Challenger Certificate. So the number 1 contendership for the
It's the Money in the Bank, but for the U.S. title.
US title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenta versus Kojima. I think it's Kojima. 14 minutes, 12 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer give us 3 3/4. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I gave it 3 stars.
Huh?
Yeah.
You didn't like it, but you gave it 3 stars.
I didn't like it as much as Meltzer.
I gave it 1 3/4.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's too low.
What Meltzer was thinking, but this match was at best too long, even at 14 minutes.
I will agree it was too long. It should have been shorter.
And some of the spots were bad at best. I can't remember. There's one. I don't know. They just didn't click to me. They just didn't click.
It was It reminds me a little bit of what happens with the Never Open Weight title, where you just get a bunch of just shitty spots strung together. And Kent is way above this, honestly. I mean, the only reason why they wanted to do this was because they had to stretch it out until they could get Moxley back over. But honestly, they should have just had him cut a promo and leave it at that. They didn't need this match.
Oh, I agree.
But then you're discounting probably one of your biggest stars in Kenta.
Yeah.
So I get why they did it, but whatever.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Tanahashi versus Great Okan, 17 minutes and 13 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 3 3/4.
Okay, first of all, now keep in mind, I don't keep too much tabs on New Japan, but I had no idea who Great Okan was.
I didn't either.
Okay, so that's just on me. Okay. That being said, Tanahashi I love him. He's a great professional wrestler. He could not carry this guy to a decent match. I gave this 2 stars. It was not good. And I say that with love to Tanahashi, but I just really, it's kind of similar to how you feel about the Kenta match. These 2 guys just didn't click for me.
I'm going to reverse it from the Kenta match. I gave it 3 stars.
What?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I thought it was a good match, nothing more. Like, it's not, it's a good match. Like, that was it. Like, they went out there, had a good match. Okay. Next. Like,
wow. I did not, it lacked a spark for me. It really did. It felt like it was nothing more than a way to boost up Great Okan, which I guess it did. You had him against the ace of New Japan on the biggest show of the year, or one of the nights of the biggest show of the year. So obviously his stock has gone up since then, but it was a lot of meh. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Okada versus Ospreay. 35 minutes and 41 seconds. Meltzer gave it 5 1/4 stars.
Because of course he did. Should I start with my nipple play now? Or should I wait till later?
I'm waiting till later.
Okay. Because it was amazing. It's not 5 1/4 stars, but it was definitely a 4.5 star match.
I absolutely agree with you.
My only complaint, if anything, is it was a little too long. Mm-hmm. But other than that, the 2 of them meld well together. It was well done. The storyline was great. The in-match psychology was great. There was, if I'm remembering correctly, there was like a minor spot on the floor on the announcer table that didn't go as well as it should have. But other than that, that was it. It was really good.
I put another awesome match that built well. But with Ospreay being heel, he can't do what he does best, and that's his flips and shit. Because as a heel, you don't want, you couldn't speak in the Tokyo Dome, you can only clap. You don't want to get that pop because you're a heel. So he did do some of that, but he didn't do as much of it. Yeah. So I kind of think it took away from the match, but it did prove that he can work any style, except the flips and shit, which is, yes, a nitpick, saying, it took away from what he does best, but he does the other stuff very well. And I think that's what the match was intended to do, to showcase him that, and he's ready for the main event of a big show.
Oh, for sure. He's
been that way for a while.
Yeah.
But I think this is the coming out where people's going to be like, he had a great match with Okada.
We'll probably talk about this later, but let's say for the sake of argument, Jay White didn't come back. Spoiler, by the way, he did come back.
Yeah, I know.
For people who don't know New Japan, because there was a rumor that he was going to show up the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And okay,
every year.
So, well, ever since AJ Styles did it, there's been a rumor every year. Mm-hmm. So, but had Jay White really did leave New Japan, I would only assume that they would slot Will Ospreay in that role. But even so, he is absolutely ready for the main event. He is ready to. Honestly, he would probably be my take if they separate the titles again. He would take the IC belt.
They need to. I think they need to separate the titles.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Main event night 1. IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship. Naito defense against Ibushi. 31 minutes, 18 seconds. I'm also give it 5 stars.
Uh-oh. I thought it was an excellent match. It was not 5 stars.
It was not 5 stars.
It was not 4.5 stars. It was 4 stars match. I would go 4 stars on this. It lacked the gravity of previous. We talked a lot on our award show about the 2 main events of Wrestle Kingdom last year. Both of those had a story. Both of those had a huge feeling. You had Naito trying to overcome, and you had Ibushi failing, and all this stuff going on. This didn't have that, even though it was Ibushi's cash-in. It was his spot.
It was his cash-in.
Well, he got in there through that, but it just didn't have the oh my god, this is actually happening. Even though he won the match, but it just didn't feel like he won the big one. You know what I mean? It felt too late, almost.
I want to say it was too late, and I'll get to that when we talk about the night 2 main event. But I thought it was I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was an awesome match. It was your typical
Ibushi
Wrestle
match.
Kingdom, New Japan main event. Like,
funny enough,
has to go at least 30 minutes. Has to fucking, start slow and build up, and that fucking knee murdered fucking Naito.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. The man knows how to sell.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I liked how I think last year both days were like 6 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
This was only like 3.5, 4 hours long. Same with night.
Yeah.
2. They kept six matches on one. I think only 6 matches on the other.
Well, here's the other thing is that even with the pre-show, you only had the one match. Last year, there was like 2 matches. There was it had to have been night 2. Was it the dark match in night 2 where they had the Stardom girls working?
Yes.
Was it on the main show or was it on the dark match?
This show or last year?
This show. Because
it was a dark.
It was a dark?
Because there was no pre-show to night 2.
Okay. So I do know that they were supposed to work a match this year.
They did. It was a dark match.
Yeah. So, but I remember not seeing it, so I was like, what gives? Because, me, Asian wrestling, women, whatever.
So, night 1 was really good. You got fucking, for me, 4.5, 3, 1 3/4, and then 3 3/4 and 4. So that's a really good fucking show.
Yeah. It's an NXT level show.
And then night 2. opens with the provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy. Chase Owens versus Ibushi versus Yano versus Bad Luck Fale. Only 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Thank God.
Yeah.
The match, Meltzer gave it a star and 3/4.
He's an overrating piece of shit.
I gave a star and a quarter.
I gave it 1 star.
What a dumb finish. Hitting a finisher, taking forever to set it up the spot, and Bushi having to lay there like a douchebag.
How long was he on the fucking canvas?
For Yano to come in and fucking steal the pin.
I could have called my great-grandmother and had her come over and sit down and bake some cookies, which is pretty goddamn hard because she's been dead for 12 years.
I'm just saying, she did. Yeah, it was it was bad.
This is one of the rare times I've seen a true botch in New Japan, especially on their biggest show. You don't normally see something like that that's misbooked that much. Because I consider that a misbooking almost. Because the spot went the way it was supposed to. It just took too long to actually execute it.
Yeah. Bad.
It's a WWE booked fucking multi-man match.
You love those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about more of that.
IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, Suzuki Gun versus 1 or 8. I'm not going to name them all because I will pronounce them. 13 minutes, 20 seconds. Fuck Dave Mouse. I gave it 3 1/4. I gave it 2 3/4. Why was oh my fucking God. Suzuki Gun disqualified for constantly throwing the referee in front of them? And that's a trope that happens all fucking night.
Yeah, it does.
It was stupid. So the atomic drop hurts Tagachi, but when he I can't remember, but when he uses his ass, it doesn't hurt.
We're not going to talk about that.
The action was sloppy and a step off to start, but it did get better as the match went on.
For a match featuring Suzuki, and I don't understand it. I really don't. My problem with all of this is that we're in a pandemic. This is a big show with a lot of people in the middle of this pandemic who spent a lot of money for this show. And back-to-back matches were not very good. This is not a good way to start a New Japan show.
Oh,
I gave it 2.5, but it's like,
okay, match for our show.
Yeah, it was, but
but then it gets extremely fucking better.
Yes, that's true.
Never openweight championship. Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb. 21 minutes, 11 seconds. Fuck Dave Mouser gave it 5 stars.
Don't you dare say it. Because it wasn't a 5-star match, but it was good.
It was absolutely a 5-star
no,
match.
It wasn't.
I fucking loved this match.
It was a great match. It was...
I fucking loved it. I think it was the best match, spoiler, out of all the nights.
Really?
Out of every 3 shows, this was the best match. Oh my God.
Wow.
I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it.
See, I gave it 4.5 stars, but...
They have everything. Great wrestling, hard hitting like a never openweight championship.
Yeah.
Match does, but also had a bit of psychology mixed in with the injury angles going on in the match. I thought it was absolutely fucking fantastic. It didn't go too long. It didn't overstay its welcome. Fucking phenomenal.
Wow. I think this is the first
awesome.
I think this is the first time I've rated something lower that you've rated 5 stars.
No, it's not.
That you've overrating piece of shit?
I'm not an overrating piece of shit.
Yeah, you are an overrating piece of shit. It was a 4.5 star match.
This match was fucking awesome.
It was really, really, really amazing. 5 stars.
It It was awesome.
Would you like your cum towel back, please? Yeah.
I got a towel right here.
There you go. See?
Evo versus Sonata. 23 minutes, 40 seconds. Actually, let me go back. Why was it not a 5-star match?
You'll laugh. It's too short.
Oh, you fucking dick.
I wanted more of it. I wanted more of it.
So you're just, you're a fucker. It was a 5-star match.
It was not a 5-star match.
You wanted more. See? But that makes no sense. It was so good you wanted more of it, but it was too short was your problem.
Yeah.
That's what.
Because it ended too quickly.
Give you more.
Yes.
It was a 5-star. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Sleazy rates at 5 stars. Okay. Evo versus Sonata. 23 minutes, 40 seconds. Meltzer gave it 4 1/4.
What?
Meltzer gave it 4 1/4.
It was a 4-star match. I mean, whatever. They could have scrapped this match and given...
Oh, fuck. They should have scrapped the first match and given the never openweight title more time.
Yes.
And to be honest...
There you go.
I didn't think you needed more time.
It's a bitchy nitpick. I will admit that. I will absolutely admit it's a bitchy nitpick.
No, I know you're going to call me over. I gave this match 4. I agree with Meltzer, 4 1/4.
We're close,
great,
though.
Awesome match. Dick to go was great. And I laughed at that top rope spot with him.
Yeah.
He was on it. Evil barely hit the ropes and he's fucking selling it. And then he fucking drops and you hear him go, "Oh shit!" It
was well done. It was a very nice match. And it's
again another fucking grabbing the referee.
Yeah,
it's all over the show. I mean,
it's still two guys that know each other really well,
right?
So, I mean, that them not having a 4-star plus match would be a problem, a real problem, because these guys can make magic in the ring, and you and I both know that. But I don't get the ref bump. I really don't get or not the bump, actually. It was shoving and stuff.
Right.
But it's like... It reeks of, oh God, WWE. That's the kind of shit WWE started doing, and it just got worse and worse and worse.
It's okay. Like, don't these guys talk about, okay, these are the spots I'm going to do in the match? And I understand it was the Bullet Club were the ones who were doing it the whole night, but it just...
Yeah.
It just irks me. Seeing it once is okay, but doing it multiple times in a match... and then seeing him multiple times again in another match.
Damn it, D'Lo.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Taiji Ishimura versus
Bone Soldier.
Takahashi. 25 minutes and 31 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 4 3/4. I'm not wrong. Because I gave it 4 1/2.
And I agree with you.
Another awesome match. This show has been fucking great. High-flying and submissions with psychology mixed in. One thing I didn't like was why work the hand in night 1 on Takahashi, but then work the shoulder night 2?
Because why not?
Also, another move. Oh yeah, they moved the turnbuckle pad a couple times during the night, different matches too, and they did it again in this one. I'm like, don't these? And then I wrote this where I wrote it. Don't you guys talk to each other about their spots?
No, no, they don't.
So, yeah.
I mean, I have no other input to that. You hit pretty much everything I was going to hit. So,
yeah.
But whatever.
IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship. Kota Ibushi defends against Jay White. Match went 48 minutes and 5 seconds, which is a Tokyo Dome Wrestle Kingdom record in length, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's what they said.
Didn't Omega and Okada go 60?
Not
One of
at
their
the Tokyo
matches?
Dome. Not at the Tokyo Dome.
Their first match went definitely longer than 48 minutes.
They said that they went like 45. And this went 48.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know.
Okay, let's start with the bad.
Oh, okay, well, Meltzer gave it 5.25 stars.
Fuck him. First of all, the match was 20 minutes too long. It's 5.25?
Yep.
3.5. Way too long. And I don't understand. Okay, let's start with the obvious. I don't like Jay White. I don't like how he works. I don't like how he is as a character. I just don't get it. This match did nothing to change that for me. And Kota Ibushi obviously is one of the best wrestlers out there. You know, definitely New Japan usually is in conversation for Wrestler of the Year pretty much every year. This felt like an afterthought. And once again, you know, kind of like night one, it felt like it was too late anyway. And I feel like it was even more too late. It was just to make sure that Ibushi is the greatest wrestler ever in New Japan. He's the greatest champion ever in New Japan. So therefore, he beats Jay White. In a grueling 48-minute match that damn near put me to sleep. That's all I got to say.
I literally disagree with everything you just fucking
Oh
said.
my God, here we go.
4.75. I thought it was another awesome match. I thought Jay White was fucking fantastic in this match. As that fucking shitty ass fucking heel talking shit and then doing it. Like I said, it was last year's Wrestle Kingdom that Jay White started to grow on me. This year's no exception. Another fucking bullying the ref spot. And it did go way too fucking long. And I just looked it up. Okada Omega went 46:45.
So
like
a minute
and a
long.
half.
Fuck off. You fucking marks
Right.
on commentary.
And the big match feel I thought was more evident here because Jay White was the one that took the briefcase from Ibushi. So Ibushi hasn't beaten Jay White one-on-one. Because remember, Jay White also beat him last year at Wrestle Kingdom too.
Yes.
So I thought the big match feel was this night. I agree with you with night one, but night two I felt like it worked better here. Like, there's only two things I hate about this match. The fucking length and the fucking stupid ass bullying the referee spot.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just, my anti-Mark Jay White cologne is, you know, just heavy today, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was a disappointing main event to a show that had a lot of very high highs and some pretty low lows.
Night two was fan. Besides the first two matches, out of the last four matches, I think my lowest rating was 4 stars. I thought it was fucking phenomenal night two. Night one was a more mixed bag for me. But overall, it is going to be another tough... If we combine both nights into one show...
Which I think we have to.
Yeah, we have to.
We kind of didn't talk about that much on air on our last show, but just as a general rule, if it's branded as a single event, even though it's multiple nights, I think we should count them as one event.
Okay.
I really do believe that.
No, I agree. And I think this is going to be a hard fucking event to top. I really do. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big New Japan mark. but I thoroughly enjoyed both nights, especially that never open weight title that did not end with a clothesline.
Oh boy. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of amazing wrestling here. So if you have not watched a New Japan show, first of all, what the fuck are you doing? Second of all, New Japan World is $9.99, 999 yen a month. You can go through it and get English commentary on all their major shows. I believe New Japan's also either looking or has secured a new weekly deal for the U.S. market. I don't know where it is, but I believe they have. So check them out, please. You know, there's a reason why they were really starting to expand into the U.S. and they were really going to be a thing until the pandemic happened. So, well,
Impact hard to kill.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Shamrock.
Rosemary and Crazy Steve versus Tino Dashwood and Caleb with a K.
With a K.
8 minutes, 55 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it a star and a half.
I don't actually remember this match.
I'm wrong. And my notes were simply, it was meh. that was my notes.
Those are quite notes. Amazing notes. What?
Yeah. Amazing.
That is analysis. Dave Meltzer level journalism right there.
I know it is.
God damn.
I'm going to rush through the show so fucking bad. Old school rules match or simply a hardcore match? Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and Cousin Jake versus Eric Young, Cody Deaner, and Joe Doring. 9 minutes, 55 seconds. Meltzer also gave this match a star and a half. I gave it 2. Nothing special. At least the right team won, and Eric Young, Cody Deaner, and Joe Doring.
I don't remember this match either.
That's it. Did you even watch the show?
I'm not sure I did.
Watched the wrong show again?
Maybe I did. No, I watched the show because I remember a particular spot that somebody popped up out of.
Okay, yeah, I talked to you about that.
Yeah.
Okay. The Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship Tournament Final. Havoc and Nevaeh versus Kara Hogan and Tasha Steelz. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it a star and a quarter.
I think that was a disservice. I liked it. I'm not saying it was great, but it was better than a star and a quarter.
Oh yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was way better than Meltzer did. Probably because there was no Asian in it. And it wasn't a Tokyo Dome. I thought it was good. It was nothing special, but it was better than I expected, and I think the right team won again.
Yeah, absolutely. I gave it 2.5 stars. So I mean, we're in the same ballpark there. And we're definitely not underrating pieces of shit like Dave Meltzer is.
Yep. We go to the triple threat. Oh, no, we don't. I forgot there was a bonus match.
Yep.
Or not even a bonus match. There was this. Ace Austin comes out.
Yeah.
Pretty much does an open challenge.
Yep. Go ahead. Say it. Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Literally in my notes, it went, Zack fucking Ryder. But also in my notes, Impact might be the smartest wrestling company in the world. They kept it short because they know Ryder couldn't work a fucking match.
Wow.
Evident is this case because Ryder looked like fucking shit and Ace Austin gave it the best he could in the time given, a half star.
Radio silence, huh? Radio silence. I will
Tell
say
me I'm wrong.
I mean, unlike AEW, he will have the big fish, small pond syndrome here. Because in AEW, it's probably going to be a mid-carder.
Yeah.
Similar to Shawn Spears, actually.
In Impact, he's going to be a mid-carder.
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to push him. I really do believe they're going to push him. Or they have such a short-term contract on him, they'll use him for spots, and then 2 months from now, he'll be back in wherever he goes to bang Peyton Royce. Or whoever. I can't remember.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. I can't remember.
Shawn Spears is banging Peyton Royce.
See, you got me fucking... I forgot which mid-carder I was talking about, okay?
I mean, they look the same. It's the same girl. They look the same girl. Triple threat match. Sleazy's favorite. For the X Division Championship. Manic defends against Chris Bay. And Rohit Raju. 13 minutes and 50 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3.5. I'm wrong.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a really good match. But the whole Manic thing is so fucking stupid. Like, so it's not TJP. So he has a mask on. So they take a mask off to reveal face paint of the mask. But then the face paint starts wearing off because of the sweat. And it's clearly TJP. And even Matt Stryker, who I'll get to at the end of the show, is like, kept referring to him to TJP. And then starts calling him Manic. I'm thinking people in their headsets goes, what are you fucking doing? Stop referring to him as TJP.
You can't...
It was so stupid.
Well, the worst part, the stupidity of it, is that what's on his fucking chest?
Right.
The Philippines fucking flag, you fucking idiots. How many Philippine wrestlers do you know? I mean, seriously, count every single Filipino wrestler that you've ever seen, ever. Ever.
The 3 that I have, if there is 3, there's probably more than 3. But yeah.
There's only one. Granted, he had 3 different gimmicks. Suicide, Manic, and TJP. But there's only one. What the fuck? You know? It is the stupid... And he's got the same tattoos because he's not wearing a full bodysuit anymore.
Right.
So it's like, are you fucking dumb? It's like saying that...
It makes Raju look stupid.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's TJP, but then he dismasks him, and you can clearly, even through the face paint, tell it's TJP. But yeah, it's all like, nah, that's not TJP.
It's like Mr. America levels of stupid.
I think that's kind of what they're trying to go with.
No, because they're making it seem like it's a shoot, you know?
Well, they're taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
It's absolutely a disservice to TJP, honestly, because the man can fucking work a match. Mm-hmm. But he's stuck with this fucking stupid gimmick in a division that, granted, yes, it was made for him, basically, but he's got to do stupid shit now. Makes no sense.
What'd you think of the match, though?
Oh, the match was fine. I mean, it was 3.5 stars as well. I mean, for a triple threat match, but it was an X Division triple threat match. So they tend to throw in more multi-man shit like that in there. So I'm okay with it. Unlike another match that we'll talk about later. No, wait. It was
Championship?
It was the next match, sorry.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie. 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Monster gave it 2.25.
What? 2.25? Really?
Yeah.
This is a 3.5 star match as well. I absolutely love the work that Deanna did. Did I not watch the same show as everyone else did again? I really enjoyed it.
Match for a house show?
No, it was great. Well, it wasn't great, but
It was an okay match for
it was good. It's 3.5 stars. What are you doing to me, man?
It was an okay match for a house show. That's really what I had. It was an okay match for a house show.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. You compare this to a lot of the rosters out there, their roster is still pretty goddamn good. You know, you watch... we'll talk about this later with the Women's Rumble, but there's still definitely a skill gap between the lower members of the WWE Women's roster and the upper set. There really isn't that much difference in terms of skill in the knockouts.
Yeah, they're all average or below.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they're below, but they're about average to decent. There's nobody out there that's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like the Gail Kims and the Awesome Kongs of the yesteryear and stuff, and Madison Rae and whatnot. But there's still a lot of great talent in that pool. Whereas you've got, you know, like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Asuka, and all them. And then you have the lower tiers. Forgive me for saying this, Zack Ryder, but Chelsea Greens and whatnot. I mean, even Casey Catanzaro, who's a very athletic person, but to actually tell a story in the ring, she doesn't really have that yet. You know, so I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that.
Okay. Ethan Page versus the Karate Man.
Hang on. You go ahead and explain how bad you thought this is, and I'm going to try and find...
I thought this was the worst thing I've ever seen on a wrestling show. Ever. Are you looking at Ethan Page?
Yeah, I wanted to...
This was... I didn't time it. It was maybe about 3 or 4 minutes. It wasn't that long. But what the fuck was this? I don't know what it was. What was it supposed to be? What story? The story they're trying to tell is that Ethan Page is dead? And then the Karate Man was supposed to like live on? I guess that was what they were going with. He was going to be the Karate Man from now on, and Ethan Page is dead, but he's no longer with the company anymore, right? So I thought this was absolutely, like I said, the worst thing I've ever fucking seen on a wrestling show. And that includes some of that fucking deletion shit. That was god awful.
I'm trying to find what he said about it.
And the House of Horrors, which was fucking terrible.
The House of Horrors was absolutely garbage.
And this was worse.
God damn it. Oh, there it is. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. So, obviously there's no rating of this. It's not anything. Okay. So let me see if I got it. Okay, yeah, this is it. So this is what he said about it. Now keep in mind, everyone knew Ethan Page was leaving. The other thing is that Josh Alexander, his tag team partner, wasn't leaving. He was staying.
Yes.
Okay? And I'll get to that in a moment. But this is what he said. I'm going to take a full-blown break from social media. I'll be staying active on my personal Patreon as much as I can. Probably this group too. It was a subreddit? I don't know what it was. But man, last night sucked. I'm so embarrassed with how Impact lazily edited that segment last night and forced it to be a joke. I felt the thought of the same guys fighting each other was comedy enough, and the more serious we took it, the better, because the reaction would be. But because I left the company, they lied to my face and did what they wanted to do the whole time. I'm sorry for if any of my fans paid for that pay-per-view and felt cheated. I honestly feel the free version I gave away was made with more love, care, and attention to detail. Sadly, I have no control over the creative or the final product, and the editor refused to send it to me beforehand. So I saw it live with you guys and was surrounded by my family, all scratching their heads at that high school project level delivery on a pay-per-view. I pray people know that I didn't edit that hot garbage. I actually begged Impact not to even have Karate Man on TV. I only wanted it for my YouTube channel. But we don't get to write the shows. We just get the scripts and do our best. I don't know what else to say. It breaks my heart this company refuses to respect its talent or its fan base on a regularly basis. I tried. Oh well, life goes on. Doors closed. Let's focus on next. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, if you are familiar with Ethan Page's YouTube channel, that's where Karate Man came from. It was never meant to be anything on Impact, as he says in the post. That being said, there's a lot of conflicting stories about this. Some people said Ethan Page absolutely wanted it on the show, and the Karate Man segment that we watched here was only because he wouldn't do business. Because the real thing that they wanted him to do was to face Josh Alexander and put him over before he left. And Ethan basically said no, and
I doubt that.
Because they had indie bookings as a tag team and whatever. I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case.
It's no secret that I've worked with Ethan Page before at Excite, and I think he's a really great person. I've always held him in pretty high regard. Obviously, he's also a promoter in Canada, but I really believe that what we saw there was absolutely not the plan. Whatever was the plan had to have been better than this, but this was just, he's absolutely right. It was hot garbage on a fucking trash can lid. I don't know what to say other than the fact that they wasted 15 minutes of my life.
It wasn't even 15 minutes.
It felt like it.
It was like 3 or 4.
No, it felt like 15 fucking minutes of my life were part of it was that I had to watch it and then I had to spend 10 minutes thinking about it, going, what the fuck did I just watch?
After I warned you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I watched this show before you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I warned you that
honestly,
was the worst shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
You've said that before, and sometimes we don't see eye to eye, especially when it comes to comedy stuff. But this one
was funny.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. So you and I don't see eye to eye in comedy, but on this very specific promo match, whatever the fuck you want to call it, absolutely 100% agree with you. Hot fucking shit. Oh my God. I think I've seen bigger steaming piles in GCW.
Thank God you didn't say that other promotion.
I did not. I wasn't going to.
Barbed Wire Massacre. Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. 18 minutes, 50 seconds. Master gave it 3 3/4.
You're the Eddie Edwards mark.
I am. I gave it 4, but
It's like, I give it 4, but wait, hold on. Let me finish.
I like my Eddie Edwards as the pro wrestler. I don't like my Eddie Edwards as the hardcore wrestler. The last couple of years, that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's been kind of venturing off, and I'm like, you're still a great fucking technical wrestler. And they're saying you gotta freshen up your character every once in a while. I understand that completely. And I get where he's coming from. So I don't fault him in doing something different. That's just not how I prefer my Eddie Edwards.
It's not how I prefer my Eddie Edwards.
But this match was brutal. Using real barbed wire. Come on, guys. What the fuck? You guys are nuts.
I guarantee you, Sami Callihan said, "Hey man, let's fuck this, fake gimmick shit. Let's use real barbed wire." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck it. Why not?"
Hated. And he kicking out of a pile driver off the ropes through a barbed wire pallet or wood or 2x4 or whatever the fuck it is. Drywall sheet or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, considering that's Sammy's finish on top of that.
Hated it. Hated! Sammy kicking out of the Boston Knee Party into a barbed wire chair to the face. We're both men putting in a hell of a fucking effort.
It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It is... So I know I don't know why I'm going down this tangent, but it's semi-related, I guess. Did you watch the 24-hour live stream of GCW?
No.
Did you watch any of it?
No.
Okay, so I did myself a disservice and I watched it. Now keep in mind, now I'm just going to say, see, this is how I kill fat men.
You gave me the Rona on that one.
Yeah. I'm going to be inquiring for a new co-host soon. There are a lot of professional wrestlers that work in GCW that are good. There are a lot of professional wrestlers that work in GCW that are okay. And then there are a lot of professional wrestlers that think, I'm a good wrestler because I know how to pop light tubes on other people. And I was unfortunate to watch a light tube death match that was dumb, really fucking dumb. These are fucking light tubes that they're piercing each other with. Legit. Well, sometimes legit. Sometimes they're blading 14 times right in front of the camera during the match. I mean, literally, he flipped over onto his belly and he's like,
I think one would be suffice. I think one would be suffice.
Nope. Had to do it 14,000 times in front of the fucking camera. Now, keep in mind, there's like 15 fans in there, and they're probably all like workers, family, and shit like that. There's no real fans that you can see in there. So the only thing you have to do is hide it from the one camera that's looking right fucking at you. But it's okay. Because at least Eddie Edwards kicked out of a pile driver through drywall. I mean, the problem with ultra-violent death matches is the Paul Heyman theory, is that when you give them one chair shot to the head, the fans love it. It's great. Then you do it again, and they love it. And then you do it again, and they love it a little less. So you start doing 2 chair shots to the head. And then 3 chair shots to the head, and then 5 chair shots to the head. And then before you know it, every match has to have chair shots or else nobody pops. And that's the main problem with deathmatch wrestling, at least in this era, is that if you don't start with, light tubes and whatnot, and barbed wire in this case, and immediately going to those spots, you don't get the pop. And while Impact doesn't do that kind of stuff, there's still a semblance of desensitization of it if that's even a word, whatever.
Desensitized?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I appreciate the fact that they both put their heart and soul in this. Okay. I just wasn't a fan of it. And it was too much for me. And I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't as bad as how some of those matches can go in Impact. Concrete Jungle immediately comes to mind, but this was certainly not a match that I like to glorify. Let's just say, and just put it that way. Just leave it at that.
Okay. Kenny Omega, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows versus Rich Swann, Chris Sabin,
and Alex Shelley of Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, we're finally getting Good Brothers versus Motor City Machine Guns, and what? What? Right? Yeah. Or is it this way? Is it this way? The whole Motor City hand sign. Is it this way? This way. Anyway, it's great. Great 16. What? iPhone.
I didn't say Moose yet. Versus Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and Moose.
iPhone.
Thank you. I guess Shelley is works.
He's a physical therapist, I think.
Physical therapist, that's what it is. And he couldn't keep traveling back and forth, or else he had to be put in quarantine, or had to get a COVID vaccination or something like that, and he couldn't travel back and forth, so they had to write him off. But yeah, 20 minutes to 30 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave this only 4.25 for a Kenny Omega match.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
Fair. It was in Nashville.
I'm wrong. I gave it 4.25 also.
Wow, what?
But fuck you, Kenny Omega.
Okay, yeah.
Literally.
So
everything you fucking did to that match.
Yeah.
So let's go to Impact Wrestling and make them look so good that they're on your level, that you no-sell every fucking move you take. Every move. Literally, every move. Moose does a Spanish fly. Moose.
Fucking Moose.
iPhone does a Spanish fly on you off the top fucking rope. You get right back up. Fuck! That should have been the end of the match. Fuck you.
The worst part about this is that had Alex Shelley made it, this match wouldn't have nearly has been as good.
Oh, I agree.
Because Moose was the star of that match.
100% was.
Bar none. There is nobody in that match on the Impact side that made a bigger impact than Moose did. And it proved, at least in most people's mind, and definitely in mine, that he is absolutely a main eventer. And not just in Impact, but wherever he lands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm not saying that as a Moose mark. There is a little bit of that, from our old days, but still, it legitimately, he showed that he could go full babyface fire, even during the middle of a very, very heated heel run. And was able to transition through a lot of stuff, do a lot of different babyface related moves. He fucking did a standing moonsault, for fuck's sake. The man knew exactly what he needed to do to show that he was a face in a match that normally he wouldn't be. So, kudos to Moose. I'm still glad that they're kind of still continuing on with this invasion angle, but honestly,
is it really an invasion though?
Yeah, I know. It's barely one.
Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head. It's like, oh, Kenny Omega show up at Impact. Why?
No one cares. No one cares.
'Cause? Yes, they popped Impact's rating. Yes, they probably got a bigger bump in the buy rate for this pay-per-view. But, yes, I understand they're helping out each other in real life, but the storyline is Kenny Omega went to Impact because... Question mark?
Because Don Callis is his... you know,
manager or whatever, or friend? So...
family friend. They're family, you know.
Okay, so... But he's AEW World Champion, and he goes right to Impact, but then he keeps appearing on AEW. Like...
Well, then you have the whole super elite thing.
I don't get it. What? So he leaves AEW, takes the title to apparently go to Impact, and then he has a sit-down interview and says, well, I'm the world champ, I can do what I want. And then just goes back and forth between the shows?
Yeah, I don't get
There's no story there.
It was a cool pop. It's a cool moment to have him do it for one shot, but there's no real substance behind it.
And then you have Matt Hardy and Private Party show up at the next Impact taping and win the number one contendership for their tag titles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which pretty much fucks all the other teams that are there, which, quite frankly, there aren't many in TNA right now.
Yeah, there aren't many tag teams. Well, but you lost your big one in the North.
Yeah.
Alex Shelley's not there, so, you know.
That's it. And then the fucking Good Bros. That's it.
Oh, they lost on the Rascals.
Yeah, they're in NXT.
Yeah.
So, it's just, so, that I kind of makes sense, but it kind of is like, well, so, kind of make a Pinja World Champion, no sells everything, and then AEW guys come in here and beat, it's like AEW guys come into Impact and are still beating your talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make Impact look good at all. They got to win one at least. Sometime.
Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Rich go over Kenny 1-on-1. I think that's what they're building to.
It has to be at AEW.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Has to be in AEW. But
I would agree.
But it won't, because they don't know how to fucking tell a proper story. It's AEW.
Yeah. So what did you think of the show as a whole?
It was an okay show for a house show.
The good barely outweighed the bad, because the bad was bad. The good was good. So there you go. Tight quality review. So before we continue on, what do we got left?
Royal Rumble.
The Rumble. Okay, well let's do the Rumble.
Okay, so since we're taping this the Tuesday after the Rumble, most of the star ratings are not out yet, so I'm gonna use John Canton's.
Sweet.
Did you watch the pre-show?
Yes, I did.
I did also. WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Charlotte Flair and some Asian versus...
You get the fuck back here.
What? Charlotte
because...
Flair and some Asian.
No. Because it's going to be the last time we probably say this for a while. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champion and Raw Women's Champion and World's Best Asian, Asuka.
Some Asian versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Match with 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
Why did I fucking watch the fucking pre-show?
Ken did not have a starting for this because he did not watch the pre-show. I gave it 2. The match was surprising that they furthered the Charlotte Lacey feud because I thought Charlotte was going to win the Rumble. Spoiler, she didn't. And I thought there was going to be a screwy finish with Asuka. But what's the point of putting the tag titles on them, like you said? Like, what's the point?
It was a complete waste of a month and a half.
If you're going to have Lacey Evans, toss them the tag titles.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's not fine. What the fuck was this? You couldn't even drop it to another team? Seriously. What is the fucking point of this? Once again, Asuka's involved in a feud featuring 2 other people. She's on the side once a fucking again. Not even the most important story of the division.
I'll get to that back in a minute.
Why did I watch the pre-show? Why the fuck did I even bother watching the pre-show? Normally I don't. I just would have been pissed when they did the recap later on in the show. But still, why the fuck did I watch this?
Because you're an Asuka mark.
I didn't know it was going to be the tag titles, honestly. I thought it was going to be the main show.
The main show opens up with the WWE... Oh, wait. Because fuck you.
Because fuck you.
WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defends against Goldberg. Technically, bell to bell, only went 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Which, by the way, I won that one.
Canton gave it 2 stars.
What the fuck?
Fuck! That's what I
A
said.
star per minute? Would have been 2.5 stars if they fucking went over 232.
I gave it a half star. Goldberg nearly dropped Drew on the jet.
Yeah! I swear to God, I thought we were having shades of fucking Undertaker again. He's so close. He loses his grip, but he manages to get him around. But holy shit, if he doesn't, he's dropping Drew right on his fucking head. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, it was short, thank God. Nice little way to make Drew look strong with the spear through the barricade, and then coming back and winning.
Yeah.
So it served his purpose.
It definitely served its purpose. But come on, you guys. You can't find a better opponent for Drew McIntyre than Goldberg? Considering the entire storyline was you don't respect the veterans when on a show that Drew said nothing to the veterans but hi and hello and happy to see you, and Orton spent the entire show bitching about them and disrespecting them. What?
So I kind of knew that they foreshadowed it because when I watched the Go Home edition of Raw,
Mm-hmm.
but that was like the first Raw I've seen like live in a while. I normally just watch like highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
And when they were talking about how no one's beating Goldberg for the title because it's the first time he's challenged for the WWE title, and every time he's challenged for a new title, he's won, and Goldberg doesn't think McIntyre's I'm like, McIntyre's winning. Like,
Yeah, that's 100% McIntyre was winning.
Yeah. Okay. SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha. Sasha.
For those of you watching the video podcast, I'm sorry. For those listening on audio, stay that way.
Sasha Banks defends against Carmella. 10 minutes, 25 seconds. Fuck Dame. Or not fuck Dame Monster. I'm sorry. John Cannon.
Well, fuck John Cannon.
2 3/4. I gave it 3. I thought it was a good match. I think their TLC match was better. But again, Sasha gets another good match out of Carmella, which proves why she was the female wrestler of the year. Fucking Bailey Marks.
You done?
Yes.
Okay, good. It was an okay match for a house show.
Mark. Not an Asian in it, so it sucked.
You didn't even hear my star rating for the fucking tag match.
I didn't.
It's 1 star.
Because there was an Asian in it. You bumped it up.
Might have to blur that one out. Where are we at?
Women's Royal Rumble match. Interesting placement on the card.
Yeah.
Okay, so it went 58 minutes, 55 seconds. Since, again, we're doing this 2 days after. I don't have all the statistics I normally do, but I'll just go through. Bailey was 1. Naomi, I'm going through all of them. So,
oh, Jesus.
Bailey was number 1. I'm Only Smile Backwards is number 2. Bianca Belair was number 3. Billie Kay was number 4. So, I liked what they did with Billie Kay in this match.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Shotzi Blackheart coming out and shooting the little cannon at her. Then Baszler punching her headshot. Tony Storm just ignoring her. And then fucking out of all the fucking veterans you can come out and get, you get Jillian fucking Hall at number 8.
Because it's Jillian Billy, you know?
Which was funny. Ruby Riott at 9. Victoria at 10. Who looked old in there.
Wow. She's past 40.
I know, but she I don't know. She just
it was a nostalgia spot. Fuck you.
I know.
God damn it. That is such bullshit considering the men's rumble. The men's rumble had 13 people over 40 in it.
But they didn't. Well, Hurricane looks super fat, but I'll get there. Which I was surprised, but I'll get there. Peyton Royce, the good-looking one, was the good-looking 11.
Okay, yeah.
Santana Garrett.
So, funny story about Santana Garrett. When I saw the name go by, I thought it was Santina. Because it doesn't show... Yeah, because it doesn't show Garrett. So it's like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, well, Santana Garrett. Okay, cool.
Okay, that's what I thought. Liv Morgan at 13. Rhea Ripley at 14. Charlotte Flair at 15. Dana Brooke at 16. Tori Wilson at 17.
She was looking fine.
Lacey Evans at 18. Mickie James at 19. Nikki Cross at 20. Alicia Fox. I was going to write something being like, oh, she's out of rehab. At 21. And then they have the 24/7 title thing.
I'm sorry. I know there are certain members of the wrestling show staff that love the 24/7 title. I like it. I like the gimmick. I like the philosophy behind it. I love the fact that it is R-Truth's baby. The 2-time NWA champion R-Truth's baby. And now most winningest professional wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. Because he's a 50-time plus 24/7 champion.
I don't count.
I just want to... No, yeah, absolutely it counts. If Crash Holly's record counts, so does R-Truth's. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Wait,
no, still fuck you. Still, not fuck you. That being said, it had no reason to be part of this Rumble. I have a very big problem with the fact that the Women's Rumbles, it's only in its 3rd year, really. Excuse me. 4th year? 3rd year.
18, 19, 20, 21.
4th year. So it's still relatively new. If this happened in the Men's Rumble, I'd be more okay with it. Mainly because you can have a little bit more... You could have that work. You could have all the wrestlers actually try and pin him while it's happening. But doing it in the Women's Rumble kind of discredits the Women's Rumble a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because it completely took all the time away from the Rumble while this all happened. Now, granted, this was all during the time of Alicia Fox's coming down. The 24/7 thing happened. Alicia gets eliminated, rolls up, it's done. And it was all in the span of 2 minutes or something, 2.5 minutes. Because 90 seconds doesn't mean anything anymore. But it still makes me feel like that there's... It doesn't sit well with me, I guess. I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where maybe it's just just how I feel about how disrespected women's wrestling is in a general sense. So anything like that, I kind of jump on a little bit more than probably I should, but that's just me.
Yeah, because I was actually fine with it, to be honest.
Yeah, see, and maybe that's, like I said, maybe that's just because I feel like that they already don't get enough respect as professional athletes and great workers, but they, especially during this time in the Rumble where you only had a couple of really high quality talents in there, like 4 or 5, and then you had, you did this with Alicia Fox of all people, so whatever.
Because he was rabbit hunting on the pre-show, now he's fox hunting. Mandy Rose at 22, Dakota Kai at 23, Carmella at 24. Do a nice little spot there with Reginald.
Who is Reginald?
I have no clue. A Murder's Daughter at number 5, or 25. Anal spelled backwards at 26. Alexa at 27. Ember Moon at 28. Nia Jax at
before you continue on, let's go back and talk about Alexa. That is a great spot.
Oh, you know what's funny? There's an Alexa here, and I said Alexa.
Oh, jeez.
And that thing just went off.
Hey, Alexa, buy a dildo.
I got the headset in.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Hey, Alexa. No. The best part about Alexa was her getting pissed and her starting to change and all of them going, nope, fuck this, out. That was probably my favorite spot of the entire match.
I was sad.
Oh, I'm sure, because that was your pick to win.
I thought they were going right for her, but
sorry, I got you off your numbers.
No, Naomi was Naomi. Natasha was number 30.
So funny story about that. I started from number 5 and saying the next one was going to be Natalya for 24 picks, and then I gave up on 29.
Even though she won a match to
exactly
be number 30 on like Raw or SmackDown.
Yep. And I had no idea that happened. No idea that happened at all. And because I didn't watch enough the pre-show, it probably would have been on the pre-show. But I hadn't heard anything about it. What? First of all, let's talk about Bianca Belair winning. Was it surprising to you?
Yeah, because I thought they foreshadowed Alexa all the way. Because let's be honest, she was had the main focus of any woman on any show. So I'm like, it's probably going to be Alexa. Like, either that or Charlotte. Like, those were my 2 picks. I didn't think, because pretty much the build for Bianca Belair was they came out with a documentary with her on Saturday, or she beat Bayley on Friday. She had a documentary on Saturday, and then that was their build.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that was their build. Like,
well, considering that up till Saturday, last time I looked was Saturday, I think. The odds-on favorite wasn't Charlotte, it wasn't Bianca Belair, it wasn't Bayley, it wasn't anybody. It was Rhea Ripley. She and Ronda Rousey were the 2 favorites to win the Rumble.
I knew Rousey wasn't going to be in it.
Yeah, no one was, whatever. But it's like, what the fuck? So nobody really knew.
So I think or maybe it was Bianca the whole time, and then they saw that Ripley was the odds-on favorite, so they're like, let's give her to the end. But Rhea Ripley was the star of the match.
Oh, absolutely, she was.
I don't have a problem with Bianca winning, even though I'm not a big fan of her singles-wise. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's the right call. I think she will face Sasha. Because I still think they're going to do Charlotte and Asuka. I don't know why.
I think so too.
Even though everything in me says Charlotte's facing Lacey at WrestleMania, but they're going to have 3 women's matches or 4 at WrestleMania. Well, they got 2 nights now, so I guess they could too.
Yeah, they could definitely do 4 women's matches because you've got
the women's tag titles, both titles, and then you can have Charlotte versus Lacey. But I have a feeling they're going to kill off Charlotte versus Lacey before Mania.
You think they'll like cover it at like Elimination Chamber or whatever they're doing between now and Mania?
Yeah, because there's also, remember, now 2 shows before Mania now. There's an Elimination Chamber at Fastlane. Fastlane's like 3 weeks before Mania.
Really?
Yeah.
They're doing... Yeah, they did it last year, but really this year too?
No, they didn't do it last year.
I thought they did it
They've done it in years past when WrestleMania...
Oh, yeah, when WrestleMania's
like
late.
Late, like April 7th or something.
Yeah.
But they pushed Mania back this year. It was supposed to be like March 28th.
Right, and they pushed it forward because of the booking of Raymond James?
I don't think so.
I thought they were doing it
just to try to get more fans there.
Oh. I was under the impression that they were bringing fans in, and a lot of the fans were like first responders, and
that was for the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it was then.
Because the Super Bowl is also at Raymond James Stadium this year.
Yeah,
home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who was going to win the Super Bowl?
They probably are, actually.
I mean, they're my team. All right, they've been my team forever. We're gonna have 2 good years under Brady, and then we're gonna suck again. Let me have this. Let me just fucking have it, okay? God.
Hey, at least you were nice enough to say that Brady is partially the reason why you're there.
100% the reason we're there. And not partially. It's 100% the reason we're there.
You hear some of the Bucks fans.
Even though he played like shit in the NFC title game. But if Brady doesn't show up, we don't get the big stars that come over. We don't get the talent. We're not in the thing. Anyway, I thought the Rumble match was booked weirdly. I wasn't a fan of the women's Rumble match. I know Travis said it was
better awesome. Than the... Yeah, he said it was better than the men's.
Which I
100% disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was weird booking. I think Shotzi was the first woman eliminated, and it was like 10 minutes into the match. It was like weird. It was so crowded.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like besides the Billy Kay thing and the R-Truth thing, there really wasn't much going on until the end between like the Final Four, which kind of saved it from being a match to a good match. I gave it 3 stars, but it just, I don't know. Plus, no live crowd. I mean,
yeah, and we kind of talked about this on chat, but let's bring this up again here. One of my biggest problems with both Rumbles, and it was more egregious here, but I think it was more problematic in the men's, was that you got a generic pop when somebody came out because it was a canned pop. But the problem with that is that the Royal Rumble, as a general rule, usually the pops are quite varied depending on who comes out. And I mean, it's completely random in some cases. You know, huge pops for Alicia Fox. Nothing for Charlotte. You know, because they're established stars. But there's that sense of, oh my God, anybody could possibly win this. And because everything was just all canned heat and canned pops and shit, you really didn't feel that excitement, that possibility, the momentary thing where you can just release and become a fan for a few moments. I didn't get that at all. And usually I do get that for the Rumble. And I absolutely did not feel that this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm kind of glad I didn't have like a little get together like I normally do, because especially now, it just wouldn't have felt the same.
Yeah. There's always next year.
Oh, yeah. Last man standing match for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns. Defends against Kevin Owens. Oh, Kenton gave the women's Rumble match 3 3/4.
He's an overrating piece of shit. Sorry, John.
No, you are, John. The Universal match with, 24 minutes, 54 seconds. Ken gave it 4 1/4. I gave it 4. I thought the match was great. with some great spots, but that what everyone's going to remember is the finish.
Mm-hmm. It's why I gave it 3.5.
You have Owens, and I thought leading up to it, it was fucking great. You had Owens handcuffing Reigns, the ref counting. Reigns takes out the ref at 9.
Mm-hmm.
So then Paul Heyman comes out of nowhere,
pulling the Jim Cornette Memorial handcuff key around his neck.
Right. But why isn't Owens stopping him?
Mm-hmm.
It's taking too long for him to do it, so another ref comes down.
But doesn't
starts
count.
Counting, and then stops.
Right.
And then pretty much tells Reigns, just at least get to your feet. Which negates the previous spot before with him taking out the ref.
Right.
And then Owens is just standing around like a douchebag. And then when Reigns gets finally
uncuffed,
just gently walks into his fucking guillotine.
Yeah. Not just
lets him do it.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta go to the finish. Let's fucking do it. Like,
it's like God. Good 2.5 minutes of fucking around in this spot.
Yeah.
It is garbage. It reminds me of the who was it they faced? It was Macho Man versus somebody. I keep wanting to think it's Sid, but it wasn't Sid. And the point was the point of the match is you had to pin your opponent. And then after the opponent was pinned, this was WCW obviously, they had to answer a 10 count.
No, WrestleMania 10 gets crushed.
Yes. I thought that was WCW.
Nope.
God damn it. So he gets hung up underneath the scaffold. He tries to tie it off, can't do it, so he just lets him sit there, and that's it.
The doesn't falls down, and Crush can easily,
get back up, but he doesn't.
Back up, but doesn't.
And it reminds me of this. So,
So that all that effort and all that punishment these two guys put them through wasted on that
finish.
That finish.
And the one of the worst parts about this is, number one, is that if Reigns knew that was going to knock him out, why the fuck wasn't he trying it beforehand? There were many times he had him in a front face lock throughout the night. All he had to do was cinch it in a little bit more, and voila, guillotine.
Yep.
It negates the match. Owens losing for a third time now makes Owens look bad because he got no come up.
The Usos' help.
Yeah, without the Usos' help. At least if the Usos came down there and beat the shit out of Owens while Heyman was unlocking him, that would have made more sense.
Yes.
But Owens just basically takes it like a fucking goober.
Mm-hmm.
And my problem is that we already have a little bit of a depth issue right now, partially because of coronavirus, partially because they're not making new stars. And we'll talk a little bit about that in Men's Rumble more. But you take a look at the roster depth on both sides, there's nobody that can really touch Roman Reigns. And that's a problem, especially when you've nerfed the only guy that could have potentially beat him 3 times in a fucking row in 3 different gimmick matches.
Yep.
So I'm not happy with the booking. The match was good up to that point, but once again, a disappointing finish for a guy that, I'm a fucking mark. I don't say that lightly. I mean, I'm wearing his fucking t-shirt, but the reality is that at what do you do with Kevin Owens from here? What do? You got to send him to Raw, right? There's really no other because, and we'll talk about it later. But the point is that there's nothing for Owens to do now. He stepped up to the plate 3 times and failed.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. That finish was just so fucked. All right, and then men's Rumble match. 60 minutes and 32 seconds. Canton gave it 4 1/4.
4 1/4?
4 1/4. Okay. Number 1 was Edge. Number 2 was Randy Orton. We already knew that because they announced it, which I fucking hated. I hate when we know who's number 30, who's number 1. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, because it takes away from the surprise moment that we talked about.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They beat the shit out of each other. Edge
bashes his knee, right? Bashes Orton's knee.
Hits like a DDT on the stable, hits his knee with a chair, and Orton's like, it's like, oh, my knee. So he gets...
I can't continue.
Cut it off. Sami Zayn's 3. Mustafa Ali's 4. Jeff Hardy's 5. Dolph Ziggler's 6. Some Asian 7.
Yeah, remember that Asian? Yeah, he won one of these, didn't he? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Me neither.
Carlito was number 8, looking jacked as all fucked.
Apparently they don't test for steroids in Puerto Rico.
Xavier was 9, Big E 10, John Morrison 11, Ricochet 12.
Go back to Big E and Xavier.
Oh, okay.
The gear. Oh my god. It all looked great. All 3 of them. This was a promo beforehand. They showed off the gear that was a tribute to Brody Lee. Fucking phenomenal. Whoever did that, whoever designed it, really well done. Just want to give props to that.
And do you know that they are actually auctioning it off and donating it to a Rochester area food?
That's great. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Good to hear. I'll probably put in a bid. I almost certainly won't bid it. Make it, though.
All right. Morrison 11, Ricochet 12, Elias 13, Damian Priest 14, The Miz 15, Riddle 16, Danielson 17.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Bad Bunny concert.
Kane 18, not corporate Kane.
Yeah, fuck. God damn it. Why does he always have to come back in gimmick form, especially when they were tributing The Undertaker? He comes out in gimmick form when nobody else does. As the biggest fucking rib.
Because he's Kane.
But he's corporate Kane now.
He's corporate Kane for like 3 months.
Yeah, it was the best 3 months of his entire character.
Well, him and Danielson hugged it out, and then he chokeslammed.
That was a decent spot, but whatever. That would have been a great nostalgia pop for me. I would have loved that if there was an actual crowd.
Corbin 19, Otis 20, Dominic Mysterio 21.
He's falling asleep. This is what happened at the Rumble Live for him.
Bobby Lashley 22. Hurricane 23. Looking fat.
Greg Helms.
And now, at 24, would have been the pop of the night.
Oh, absolutely would have been.
Christian coming out.
Yeah.
Because that's without the live crowd. That
was nothing. It was the generic pop that you heard every other night, which is terrible. He deserved so much more than that.
Mm-hmm. AJ Styles 25. Mysterio 26, Sheamus 27, Cesaro 28, Seth Rollins coming back at 29, and then Braun Strowman at 30.
So outside of Christian, no real big surprises.
No.
No Cena. no Lesnar. There were a ton and a half of rumors of a bunch of people showing up at the Rumble, like there is every year, like Jay White.
Cena
couldn't.
Couldn't. Because he was in Canada, and he couldn't. And he's filming a TV show or a movie or something until July, and he can't leave Canada. Because he'll have to quarantine when he gets in the States, and then have to go and quarantine when he got back into Canada, and they'll just shut down production, and that'd be like a month worth of them not doing anything on the show, and it costs the show a lot of money. So they're just like, he can't do that.
You know what my problem is with this? How does he get to go into Canada and back?
He's not. He's in Canada right now.
Yeah, but how did he get there in the first place? He hadn't spent 9 months there.
He probably got into Canada and then quarantined.
No, you can't.
I don't know what
you cannot do that. That's the thing. Is Trudeau, at least the last I am aware of, is that unless you have family here or up in Canada, or specifically a significant other up in Canada, you cannot cross the border.
Well,
so what the fuck?
He's filming a TV show. Money talks, bitch.
I guess I'm filming a TV show next weekend. See ya.
Goodbye.
Whatever. But yeah, there were a lot of surprises that didn't happen. So,
like every year.
Not like every year, because every year's got one big one. And technically this one had the one semi-big one, Christian. Because nobody knew Christian was coming back. And apparently he's been completely cleared for a while, so cool. Love to see more of him. But let's talk about the winner.
So, Orton comes back out of nowhere after Edge eliminates somebody. Rollins.
Rollins, yeah.
And hits an RKO, goes to toss Edge out, and we're all like, yep, you're like, Orton's winning. And then goes to toss Edge out, and Edge reverses it, tosses Orton out. So Edge wins the Rumble at the number 1 spot.
Only the third person to ever done that?
Yep.
Michaels and Austin.
Nope.
No. Ray.
Nope.
No, he was number 3, wasn't he?
He was 2.
Flair was 3.
Flair was 3.
Who else was the other number 1 one?
Benoit.
Oh, yeah. We don't talk about Benoit around here. You know this.
No, they don't talk about Benoit. So this is what I found another thing funny, was that when Sami Zayn entered at number 3, he got this conspiracy theorist gimmick, and they're all like, oh, number 3, the number that statistically doesn't last the longest in the Rumble. When literally, Bianca Belair showed up at number 3.
And won it.
And won.
Yeah. And number 3 has a record of people winning from there. Flair being one of them.
Well, now, yeah.
Now so it's like 2.
Yeah, but I'm like, huh?
I'm like, yeah, that was whatever.
Yeah. I thought this flowed better than the women's match. The Orton angle was predictable with him coming back. Edge winning. Even though I think Chip called it.
Yeah, Chip did call it.
Well, he's a mark.
Hey,
I think I called him.
Sometimes the fucking mark wins. Sometimes the most obvious play is the play they go with.
Yeah. I thought that was a surprise. And I didn't explain it to you, but I thought he was going to face McIntyre, and all the rumors were saying it's, and you thought it was Reigns, and all the rumors were saying it's Reigns. I thought it was McIntyre because when Edge was out with an injury, he wanted a WrestleMania match with McIntyre.
Okay.
That's what he said. So I'm like, oh, he's going to face McIntyre. Like, this lines up perfectly now. He's going to face McIntyre. But then,
yeah,
the death problem, he said, like, what faces are there on SmackDown? And I thought about it. I'm like, what faces are there on SmackDown?
Exactly. There is nobody there.
So it makes sense for Edge to challenge Reigns.
Whereas Drew has quite a few people he could pick from if he wanted to put somebody over as a heel.
Mm-hmm. So,
like Cesaro, for instance. Or what's probably going to be Sheamus. Which isn't a bad... To be fair, that's not a bad pick. But...
I think
it's a TV program.
I think Sheamus would be the way to go, because weren't they teasing like them to be like together or something?
Yeah, Sheamus turned on him on Monday.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
did he?
They are.
Last
Sheamus
night?
already turned on him last night.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch Raw.
Yeah, that's already happened. They Edge teased a potential match with Drew, and
then he's going to
SmackDown.
NXT.
Yeah, he's gonna tease a match with Cole.
Balor?
Oh yeah, that's right. Balor's champion now. Jesus Christ.
Kiki.
I hate this. So before we go, one last.
It was a good show, but I think the Rumble matches were too bunched together. I think you should open one and close with one, or have one as a second match and close. But get a Rumble match, and then a Rumble match. I think it was too much Rumbles.
Yeah, it was almost back to back, and there was no way to cool down either. Even though the Owens finish did a good job of it.
Yeah. Couple newsworthy things. WWE has signed their third $1 billion rights deal while moving the WWE network to NBC's Peacock app in March.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked news and rumors at all.
No.
So
I'm just trying to remember the big things. Yeah, so there's that. And I love all these articles. Like, I read an article when I was taking in New Jersey earlier saying why WWE is failing right now. And I'm like, they have $3 billion TV contracts, separate TV contracts for $1 billion each, making the most money they ever have. How are they failing right now?
Not only making the most money they've ever made, but their expenses are so low because they're not touring. They don't have to worry about ticket.
Their profits higher.
Oh my God. What the fuck are you doing? Even if you go by gross revenue, it's still higher than normal. Mm-hmm. And then you take into the fact that all these expenses aren't actually happening. They're not bringing in the biggest stars. They're not paying a shit ton of money for Lesnar or The Rock or Cena or any of those because they don't really need to right now. So it's like, how does anyone think that's a failing company? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, ratings, bro. Ratings are low. Ratings, bro. That's why. Ratings, bro.
Yeah, because they're failing against AEW's 900,000 on Wednesday night, right?
So, AEW draws between, like 900,000. NXT does like 650.
No, it's higher than that. It's like 8.
Oh, the last time when I saw fucking Alvarez, he blocked me because I fucking kicked him out. Well, the last thing I saw from Alvarez was 650. But even so, still more people watch NXT from Wednesday night and on the network than people watch AEW. They're not losing the war. War. Quote, war.
Here's the thing. And
they're not beating Raw, they're not beating SmackDown.
Well, that's my exact point.
And they're beating WWE's developmental territory. But they're not even beating them.
Exactly. And this came right from, of all people, and I don't know why this week I chose to listen to Eric Bischoff, but yeah, it's like you're not even beating a flagship show with your flagship stars.
Yeah.
So
even if they truly are beating NXT,
so what?
So what? They're not beating Raw, they're not beating SmackDown. Their pay-per-views aren't drawing as good as WWE's because they got the network.
Mm-hmm.
And now it doesn't fucking matter. Because they're making $200 million a year for the rights fees for WWE Network. They're making, on average, 16 mil a year or 16 mil a quarter? 16 mil a year, right? I think it was a year.
For what?
WWE Network now.
Oh yeah, they're making $16 million a year because they have average of 1 million. No, it's more than that. It's more than that only because it's the gross revenue is higher, but they have a lot of costs behind it. So I want to say it's more like, oh, it could be 16 million a quarter. That makes more sense. 32 million. So 64 million.
Okay, 64 million
a year.
Still,
yeah.
They're still making over 3 times the amount of money just for the rights fees.
Even if they were making only half that, 100 million. Even if they were making the same amount of money that they're making now, the peace of mind of saying you're dealing with the shit. If your app goes down, they're going to yell at you, not us. If you try and change anything in terms of your channel or the UI or anything, that's on you. Being able to say that, so much better. And now they only have to worry about the, frankly speaking, a lot smaller market, but the worldwide market that still uses WWE Network. You're looking at maybe 300,000 people that subscribe outside of the US.
Mm-hmm.
So the server balancing of that and the
I think the servers are going to be the same. I think they're just going to put it behind like an NBC. I think they're just pretty much moving their app to the Peacock app. They'll probably change it up a little bit.
From a back end perspective, that wouldn't work.
Okay, see, I don't know the technology of it.
So basically,
Go ahead.
Basically what would happen is that they would just take the raw video content and move it to the servers that are hosting the back end of Peacock. And then the front end, the actual app that you actually go in there, will query those actual video programs. That's how that setup works. That being said,
go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I told you this. I recently, yesterday, actually, just got the Peacock app. And I was streaming Superstore on my PlayStation. Had to buffer like 4 or 5 times, and I'm hardwired in. Moved to my computer. Also hardwired in. Laggy. Didn't need to buffer, but it was kind of like laggy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, the Roku in the bedroom, not hardwired in, through Wi-Fi, perfectly fine. No buffering, no lag, perfectly fine. Ran smooth as hell.
And that's the thing is that...
So they got to try to clear up some of these issues.
It's still a relatively new app.
Yeah,
but
that's another thing too.
The revenue on the back end of that, especially when the deal is basically, hey, we're going to just port all these customers that are already on the WWE app into Peacock.
1.6 million.
Holy shit! Mm-hmm. Immediate shove up, especially when NBC can go to advertisers and say, we got automatically 1.6 million new subscribers on our ad-supported part because they pushed them over to the $4.99 plan. They did not push them over to the $9.99 ad-free plan. So I
got the $9.99 ad-free.
Well, most people will probably upgrade to that, but the $4.99 plan still has ads in it. And if you're a marketer for NBC, don't you think they have that in their back fucking pocket when they go to fucking Charmin and say, hey, we just got 1.6 million new subscribers on our ad supported tier. Do you want to get your ass covering on that gravy train?
You know that WWE is going to get at least a cut of that too. These are just
they don't even have to.
No.
I guarantee you that actually that doesn't happen because they're making so much money off the direct licensing of it that they don't even need to worry about that.
I understand. You're probably right, but I still think, hey, we're bringing this. You're giving us these rights fees, but also it's kind of like with USA. You're giving these rights fees, but they still get ad revenue too. So I'm just because you're giving me $200 million a year doesn't mean I don't want a little bit of that ad revenue also because it's our programming. So there's probably some more working out things, and also there's speculation on Fuck Dave Mouser's part that I guess when you watch live TV on Peacock, which I haven't even done, that there's no watch from beginning. You have to either watch it live or watch it when it's over or once
That'll
it's
suck.
done. I don't know if that's true though, because I don't know if that's true. I'll have to look more. All I do is try to watch something live, but I didn't try to watch something live.
Most other apps don't have live capabilities like that. Have the option of restarting it from the beginning. That would be kind of strange for Peacock not to have that.
Right. But again, you said it's a relatively new app, and I think most of the streaming stuff is sports anyway, and when you watch sports, you'll watch it live. You never really watch it like the Super Bowl Sunday. Like, I'll be watching it live. I mean, if my Bucks win, I'm going to watch the game eventually again. But like, when you're watching shit live, sports live, you're not going to watch it the next day.
Yeah.
It's not a rewatchable thing. It's something you have to watch live. Yeah. So maybe he's talking about the sports aspect of it, but I'm pretty sure WWE's going to go, hey, we got to do the watch from beginning thing because that's on our app.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure they'll do that.
I'm pretty sure too.
Well, that's a big gift for WWE. Man, it's a lot of money.
I love it. I do love it because that means professional wrestling's still alive and well.
Mm-hmm. And they gave us the location of the next 2 WrestleManias.
Technically 3. Because we weren't 100% sure that it was going to be in Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah. So, Tampa this year, obviously.
With fans.
With fans. Next year, back in Dallas, which surprised me because I thought they'd go to LA. But the year after that, in 2023, they're going to LA. And he said something about going to Dallas. And I was like, I'd rather go to LA. I've already been to Dallas.
But I haven't. I haven't been to Dallas. There's In-N-Out there. There's also In-N-Out in LA, so whatever.
But also, and Chip was like, I'm down. And we could go to Chip's favorite restaurant.
Waffle House!
Waffle House!
Yes, we must have every meal at Waffle House.
I don't know about that. But
you House. Little bitch!
Waffle House!
You eat enough Waffle Houses to get you through an entire 12 months.
Yeah.
Which is probably one. But, yeah. I
think those were the big news items. There's probably some smaller ones, but I'm not going to even look them up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main stuff right now. We'll do a more in-depth of news and rumors on our next show. But I do want to say...
I still think we got to cover 2 fucking shows next show.
Yeah.
Takeover and fucking AEW.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not technically...
No, AEW's in March.
Yeah, because they moved it.
Just Takeover.
Okay, so we'll do news and rumors and rumors and news.
Okay.
Maybe we'll even do a watch-along sometime in the next 3 months.
We definitely got to do one.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things we got to get going. You know, obviously we're getting closer than ever to the end of this fucking pandemic. So I can see us starting to really get into shows again and going out to actually see wrestling and actually, yeah, I know. So I'm hoping the way things are going, our first wrestling show will probably be 2CW. So
June, right?
Yeah, it's June. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to finally. And, you know, in this life, it's just been, you know, we're coming up on a year since the real lockdown started. So people are still really getting crazy about it. So a couple of quick things. Usually they'll clean up gimmick here. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Sleazy Fatman. Fatman's at TWS Fatman. I'm at TWS Sleazy. Big thing though, and this is going to come out before the closing, I hope. Depends on how quickly I can get this done. But the deadline for this is February 14th, Valentine's Day. We actually got nominated for a Thezzy for Best Wrestling News Media. How the fuck did that happen?
Me being the Hall of Famer, I pulled some strings. And quite frankly, we're the best anyway. So
I definitely agree with you on the second part. First part, I'm not so sure.
Huh?
But not that you're not the Hall of Famer, just that you have any strings to pull. But seriously though, go to our social medias. You'll find the link there. All you have to do is click, put your email in, put in whether or not you want to get emailed by them. You don't have to. And the only thing you have to do is go on the second page, list us as number 1 as Best Wrestling News Media. It's really important to us this year. This is the year we could actually legitimately win this. The winners from the last few years were Up Rocks, which doesn't exist anymore for reasons we all know, but we won't talk about. So there is a huge race to potentially win this award, and we need your support so badly here. If we win,
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.